65 million years ago, dinosaurs disappeared from the face of our planet. Today, these same dinosaurs can be found through the science of paleontology, unearthed as fossilized skeletons, and their descendants can be seen living and thriving amongst the lineages of our modern-day birds and reptiles. The past is now the present, and our mission is to bring you closer than ever before to a world of prehistoric adventure. This is Beyond Dinosaurs. The Black Hills, a beautiful yet isolated range of mountains that jut from South Dakota's Great Plains, are a wonder to behold. Their dark, jagged peaks are iconically prehistoric in their own right, and the wilderness that surrounds them is an adventure lover's playground. Yet it's something beyond the mountains that has drawn us to this unique location. Today we are visiting the Black Hills Institute of Geological Research. Founded in 1974, they are an independently owned and operated establishment that specializes in the discovery, excavation, and preservation of fossils. Over the next several days, we will be working alongside Pete Larson, who is arguably the world's foremost authority in everything that has to do with Tyrannosaurus rex. You may recognize Pete, and rightfully so, as he was featured in the Emmy Award-winning documentary Dinosaur 13. He is renowned for having unearthed 10 of the 40 most complete T-Rex skeletons in history, including Sue, who currently resides at the Chicago Field Museum, and Stan, who is proudly displayed at the Black Hills Institute. Morning, Pete. How are you?
Oh, hi, Coyote. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. I would say that you have your hands full with what looks like a pterodactyl skeleton?
Well, it's actually a pteranodon.
Pteranodon, okay.
But very close relative.
Yeah.
They actually belong to the same group because they have a very short tail. Actually, tail's off of this one right at the moment. But
okay.
I'm just going to check out and see if I got this fitting just right. Yeah, that looks okay.
You are renowned for your discoveries of Tyrannosaurus rex skeletons, and that is really what we are hunting after today. So what I want to do now, if you're cool with this, Pete, is actually go behind the scenes here at the Black Hills Institute, see some of the things that nobody gets to see, some of your treasures, some of your Tyrannosaur treasures, and if we're lucky, maybe I'll even get hands-on and we'll get everything up close for the camera. Sound good?
That sounds fine. Let's go to the research collections room and I'll show you some really cool stuff.
Here we go, guys. Pete is truly a man of mystery, so we had no idea what was in store as he led us deep into the catacombs of the Black Hills Fossil Archive.
Back there, that's all unprepared fossils waiting to be prepared.
That's all fossils?
That's all fossils back here.
Let's check this out real quick. Rows and rows of bones encased in plaster jacketing stretched as far as the eye could see. All discoveries from a lifetime spent searching for prehistoric giants that disappeared from our planet millions of years ago. To say that we were in awe is an understatement.
You hear that? This is Triceratops stuff, real stuff.
Triceratops alley, I suppose you might say.
Okay.
We saw Triceratops bones by the dozens, Hadrosaur skeletons galore, and even the remains of prehistoric whales that will one day hopefully find their way to a museum display room.
On some of these whales that we've collected in Peru, you find actually preserved baleen. So even the baleen, which is hair, is preserved.
You can see that shape of that whale there,
Yeah.
just that rib cage perfectly preserved.
Yep, and here's
that is a cool find.
For nearly half a century, Pete has been discovering the remains of creatures that seem to be lost in time. And while the crew and I were like kids in a fossil candy shop, these were simply the unprocessed specimens. Our next stop was Pete's off-display collection, the true relics of priceless design and timeless wonder. Tyrannosaurus rex is without question the undisputed tyrant king of the dinosaurs. This predatory giant is Pete's all-time favorite, and like Pete, It's the one prehistoric animal that is primarily responsible for sparking my love of these ancient creatures. So as we traverse the dark corridors beneath the Institute, I could feel he was leading us towards something truly special.
So this is like a Tyrannosaur archive down here.
It is. It's an also archive for other fossils too. But,
Okay.
But we probably, when researchers come here, they're, well, for instance, this
This is just a T-Rex arm just sitting here.
This is a cast. It's not an original, but it's this is an exact reproduction of what Sue's arm looks like, and you can see it's got muscle scars here, and if you turn it over, this is kind of cool. This is what's called an avulsion. This is where one of the muscles, the coracobrachialis, attached to the humerus, and it was literally pulled out of its hold where the tendons would attach the muscle to the bone. Those tendons were pulled out and then reattached. So whatever they used their arms for, they used them a lot.
And that's interesting because people look at the arm of a Tyrannosaurus Rex and say, look at how little this is, only these 2 fingers, but look at how large that arm is. Now, this is a cast of Sue's arm, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Sue is the most complete Tyrannosaur skeleton ever unearthed, which, as we know, you were a part of that excavation.
And awesome preservation. It's just a wonderful, wonderful fossil.
Something inside me could feel the presence of a large predator. It's like an electrical charge that triggers the hairs on the back of your neck to stand on end. And as Pete approached a large white cabinet, I already knew what was waiting inside.
Okay, we're about to reveal our first glimpse at Tyrannosaur fossils. And this is Foxy Lady. Pete, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
I've been ready all my life. These are bones from the inside of the lower jaw. Like reptiles, dinosaurs have many bones in their lower jaws. We just have 2. We have a right and a left mandible.
Right.
But these guys have 14, 7 paired bones in their lower jaw. Okay, so we're getting down into some more fun stuff.
Whoa.
So this is, again, part of the skull. This is part of the palate. I'm just going to pull this out so you can kind of see it. This is really cool because you see these marks here? Those holes? Those should not be there.
Really?
Those holes were actually produced by a bite of another Tyrannosaurus Rex. You see how they're kind of crushing in, but healing.
Yeah. This is like a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull puzzle in here. Wow,
So
look at that.
Here's some vertebra. This is a caudal vertebra, tail vertebra from this beast.
Oh goodness, look how big that is.
That's as big as my head. Bigger.
Pretty cool. So here's one more drawer.
Gosh. Oh, look at that.
This is one of the dentary. So the dentary is the tooth-bearing element of the lower jaw. And this is kind of cool. You can see there's a tooth that's just erupting right there. Yep. And one that was broken off. And then some of them that came loose. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what some of these teeth are like when they come out of the jaw.
Okay.
I didn't let you hold any bones yet.
Yes, I know. You have something in mind.
I have something in mind that's a little more special. So here's a cabinet, a very fun cabinet, and another one down below it.
So far we have looked at an incredible number of Tyrannosaur fossil specimens, but now we're going to look at what you consider or call prepared teeth.
Prepared teeth. Once we clean all the glue off the surface.
Oh man.
The holy grail of dinosaur fossils.
So
may I?
This is absolutely the world's most famous Tyrannosaur tooth. More than 1 million people have held a cast of this tooth.
Yes.
But not very many people have held the original tooth. You're one of probably 30 people that have held that tooth.
Getting to hold the tooth of a Tyrannosaurus Rex humbles you to the bone, and its 65-million-year-old power radiates through your very being. To know that an animal of this size once walked our planet is a staggering realization you can only comprehend and come to grips with as you run your fingers down its serrated edges. To know that this very tooth pierced the flesh of countless dinosaurs is a haunting realization that is powerful enough to evoke nightmares. But to see the skull is something altogether more impressive. So we left the fossil vault behind and headed upstairs to witness the Black Hills' breathtaking collection of dinosaur skeletons.
So what do you think?
This is it. The collection of the relics Amazing, Pete. Amazing. You can't even imagine what it feels like to stand here right now, absorbing in all these skeletons.
The first time you enter the Black Hills Hall of Dinosaurs, it immediately feels as if you have been transported back to the Mesozoic era. Dinosaur relics from all three periods that made up the age of reptiles fill the room. From the Triassic to the Jurassic, and finally the icons of the Cretaceous surround, tower above, and nearly swallow you. We walked amongst the giants, a sense of awe sweeping over us like a tidal wave of prehistoric wonder. And finally, we found our way to Stan. Standing nearly 15 feet tall and measuring close to 40 feet in length, he is one of the most complete T-Rex skeletons ever unearthed. And he stands as the Institute's proud centerpiece.
This is the majority of Stan's skeleton, and this
is Stan's original skull,
this is
the left
skull.
side.
Now, for everybody out there watching, just so that they understand, Stan's skull is one of the most complete Tyrannosaur skulls ever unearthed, and the most perfectly preserved skull, which has provided us with just an unbelievable amount of information about this prehistoric giant, correct?
It is. It's definitely the most important T-Rex skull that has been discovered to date for a lot of reasons. One is because it can really show us this kinesis in a way that we couldn't see in the other skulls. In addition, it's the skull that has been seen by most people in the world. There are something like 60 skeletons of Stan in museums around the world, cast skeletons, so the reproductions. It's when you think of T-Rex, you think of Stan. That image you get of what T-Rex face looks like, you see Stan's face.
What an incredible fossil, and what a day for the Brave Wilderness team. Pete, I cannot thank you enough for having us out today. Behind the scenes here at the Black Hills Institute, we got up close with some incredible fossils, and of course got to hold the most famous Tyrannosaur tooth in the world.
I'm still shaking, guys.
Stan's tooth. I know, there is no way that we could possibly ever thank you enough for being a part of the launch of Beyond Dinosaurs. This is just the start of the expedition, guys. We have several more episodes planned here in South Dakota, and stay tuned because I have a feeling that this is going to be an adventure 65 million years in the making. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see ya on the next prehistoric adventure.
Getting to spend the day learning about dinosaurs from one of the greatest minds in paleontology was a perfect start to this prehistoric adventure. Going behind the scenes at the Black Hills Institute was a privilege unlike anything the crew and I had ever done before. And holding the largest tooth from the most complete Tyrannosaurus Rex skull in history was an honored moment I will cherish for the rest of my life. Dinosaurs are without question the greatest creatures to have ever walked our planet. And while they may have disappeared millions of years ago, in many ways, they are still with us today. This new series will take you on an exciting journey into the modern realm of these ancient beings, as we explore the science, the theories, and the imagination that it takes to go beyond dinosaurs. If you are ready for an adventure 65 million years in the making, be sure to go back and watch the episode where we announce our partnership with Universal Pictures as we become the Jurassic World Explorers. And don't forget, subscribe so you can join me and the crew on this season of Beyond Dinosaurs.